Okay. So, good morning. So, we will continue with the flexural member. Okay. So, ang kasama lang sa atin sa compression member is hanggang dun sa lateral lateral torsional buckling, yun na? Sorry, flexural torsional buckling. Okay? So, dito, balikan muna natin yung ating beam, no? For example, I have here the beam cross-section. Okay, i-review natin kung nasa na tayo. So, sabi natin, meron tayo dong axis. So, you have here the X, you have here the Y, and you have here the Z. Okay? And then, each axis, meron tayong force, no? Kapag paganto yung force ko, or tinatawag kong FZ, pwede siyang maging tension and then compression. Okay? So, that is your FZ. So, itong FZ, it's either in tension or is it in compression, no? Okay. Na-design na natin yung steel natin based on tension. So, that's our first topic. And then, na-design na natin to sa compression. So, that is our second topic. Okay? So, mayroon pa tayong dalawa. We have here the FX and then we have here the FY. But this FX and FY, they are both on shear. Okay? So, saan natin ito pag-uusapan? Yung shear. Okay? Punta tayo sa moment. Okay? So, meron ako ditong MX. Okay? So, papaikutin ko ng paganto yung aking beam. So, that is your MX. Tawagin natin to. Okay? This is bending about major axis. Okay? So, sabi natin kapag major axis, nade-determine natin siya based dun sa ating moment of inertia, no? The greater the moment of inertia, mas greater yung ating axis on that, no? Now, we will be having here this one. Okay? This is called the MY. Okay? Kumbaga yung pagbali nung ayan, nawala yung ruler ko dito. Where's my ruler? Hindi ko nakita. Okay. Example, ito no? So, ito yung beam mo. Yung pagbali ng paganto, yung pag-deflect ng pababa, that is your MX. Okay? Ngayon, yung pag-deflect ng lateral, okay? Pagtagilid, and that is your MY, no? Yung MZ, that is the torsion, no? Kasi papaikutin natin yung beam natin on this direction. So, this is your MZ and that is your torsion. Okay, another topic yung torsion. So, ngayon, ang pag-aaralan natin is this one. Major axis, or bending about major axis, and then bending about minor axis. Okay, if the beam experiences the major axis bending and then the minor axis bending, paano natin siya i-consider at paano natin siya i-design. Okay? So, with this topic, meron akong ilang importanteng sabihin. Okay? Una, this is what you call the laterally unbraced length. Okay? Not necessary. For example, I have here the beam. Okay? Meron akong simply supported beam dyan. Okay, example, ang length ko is 6 meters. Not necessary that my LB equals to 6 meters. Okay? Ang tinutukoy dito ang unbraced length laterally is yung tukod sa gilid. Okay? So, kapag walang binigay sa problem na meron siyang tukod sa gilid, and then, tama yan na ang LB natin is 6 meters. Okay? Pero kapag sinabing, okay, laterally braced at every 3 meters, laterally braced at mid-span, ang LB natin is L all over 2. Kapag laterally braced at third points, okay, ibig sabihin, ang ating LB is L all over 3. Laterally braced at quarter points, It means ang LB natin equals to L all over 4. Okay? Wherein the length is the length of the beam. Okay? Ano siya sa tunay na buhay? Example, meron ako ditong I section. Okay? And then, ayan. Ayan yung beam ko. Tapos dito may support, no? So, yung end supports natin, of course, that is taken as lateral support, ano? Okay. Yung lateral support, okay, ginagawa siya para, teka, hanapin ko na nga yung ruler ko. Ang hirap ng walang ruler. Okay. Yan. TV mo. So, yung lateral support, intended siya para hindi mag-buckle laterally yung inyong beam. Okay. Bakit? Kasi, supposedly, kailangan niya makuha yung buong lakas ng beam mo sa gantong direction. Okay? Unfortunately, kapag walang tukod sa bandang gilid, katulad nito, no? Napakalakas niya sa strong axis, pero hindi yun magagamit lahat. Bakit? Dahil wala akong lateral support, ang mangyayari, tingnan nyo mangyayari sa gilid. Okay? Ayun. Diba? Parang, although dito ko siya pinipihit, pero yung beam ko, kusa siyang gumaganyan. Okay? So, dahil walang tuko dito, para siyang nagbe-bend on the weaker axis. Okay? So, yun yung laterally unsupported, no? So, without the lateral support, hindi niya nakukuha yung buong strength ng beams natin along the major axis. Okay? So, kumbaga yan, gigilid. Wait. I'll show you one example of the problem ng isang lateral support. Hanapin ko. Actually, nag-comment ako dun eh. Okay. Here it is. Sa Facebook. Okay. Kung makikita nyo to, ang failure na to. Okay. So, ayun. Nakita nyo yung beam na yon sa taas. Medyo kumurba siya ng kaunti, ano? Okay. It is because wala siyang lateral support. Okay. So, instead na mabali siya ng buo ng paganto, nabali muna siya ng pa-sidesway at saka siya bumagsak. Okay? That is an example of what you called the lateral support. Okay? Failure. Okay? So, kapag meron kang slab sa taas, okay, so you may consider that as your lateral support. Okay? Ang tawag doon mga laterally unsupported beams. Although may consideration pa rin yung mga studs, okay, but that is the definition. Example, this is my length L. Ayan yung 6 meters mo, no? L equals to 6 meters. Okay? Ngayon, naglagay ako dito ng another beam. Yan, naglagay ako dyan ng another beam. At saka dito, naglagay ako ng another beam. Okay? Tapos magkakaiba sila. Okay? Example, ito 1 meter. Ito 2 meters. Ito 3 meters. Okay? Since isang beam lang naman yung tinutukoy ko, yung LB natin na kukunin should be the maximum of the 3. So, you have here 1, 2, and then 3. So, you will be having LB equals to 3 meters. Okay? So, again, yung tukod sa gilid. Ano? Iyon yung LB natin. Okay? So, what is naman yung LC? Okay? Ngayon, ito yung unbraced length natin. Ano? Pag ganyan. Okay? So, mentran sumahaba yung unbraced length LB natin, humihina yung beam natin. Okay? So, dito sa limit na to na tinatawag nating LC, kung ano man yung length na yan, hanggat yung unsupported LB mo ay mas mababa dyan, considered diyang laterally supported beams. Ibig sabihin, hindi natin i-consider yung lateral torsional buckling na tinatawag or yung pagtagilid ng beam kagaya ng pinakita natin kanina. Pero kapag lumagpas ka na dyan sa LC, we need to consider that. Okay? So, yun yung palaging unang titingnan sa beam. Is the beam laterally supported or laterally unsupported? Paano malalaman yon? By knowing what is the LC. Okay? Yung LC natin, makukuha natin sa formula na to. So, you have here smaller of the two. Okay, kung ano man yung mas maliit. So, LC1, tawagin kong LC1 yon. So, you have here 200 BF all over square root of FY. And you have here the LC2, 137,900 all over D all over AF or the area ng flange, no? And then multiplied it by FY. So again, yung AF natin, that is the flange area or compression flange. So that is BF and then multiplied natin by TF. Okay? So this is for NSCP 2001 by the way. Okay, eto siya. Okay, so you have here 200 BF all over square root of FY or 137,800 all over D all over AF and then multiplied it by the FY. Okay? So we need to consider that. Now, burahin ko muna to. So, ibig sabihin, dalawang cases yung pwedeng mangyari sa beam natin. Una, pwede siyang maging laterally supported, and then the second one, pwede siyang maging laterally unsupported. Okay? So, punta tayo dun sa case 1. Okay? So, that is laterally supported beams. Okay? Ang titingnan natin dito is yung compression flange. Okay? Ibig sabihin, kung nasan ba yung flange natin, ano? Okay? Yung compression. Okay? For example, for simply supported beams, di ba? Nasa ng compression? Nasa top or nasa bottom? Okay? So, yung nasa top. Okay? Siya yung ating magiging compression. Okay? We need to consider it's either compact, partially compact, or non-compact. Okay? For compact section, paano natin malalaman kung compact section? Okay, for 2001, meron tayong dalawang criteria. So, we have here the BF all over 2TF and it should be less than 170 all over square root of FY. First criteria. And then, second criteria, so you have D all over TW. It's less than 1690 all over square root of FY. Okay? So, dalawa yan, syempre, no? So, yung una is for the unstiffened element. And then, this one is for the stiffened element. Na-discuss na natin tong stiffened and unstiffened, ano? Okay. So, kapag daw na-meet both unstiffened and stiffened yung criteria, ibig sabihin, they are compact section. So, ang gagamitin daw natin na FB or stress is 0.66 of FY. Okay? So, ito yung ating gagamiting stress. Okay. Now, kapag hindi, okay, punta tayo sa second criteria. So, ang tawag naman natin dito is partially compact section. Okay. So, yung partially compact section kasi, so, meron na tayong konting local instability. So, yung BF all over 2TF ko, criteria 1. So, yung PF all over 2TF para sa unstiffened, mas greater siya, okay, kesa dun sa ating 170 all over square root of FY. Pero dapat mas maliit siya sa 250 all over square root of Fy. Okay? So, this is for unstiffened. Okay? Yung stiffened kasi, medyo matibay naman ang stiffened din. Biruin nyo, meron dalawang support sa kada ends niya, no? Okay, so yun pa rin yung criteria niya. So, D all over TW, 1690 all over square root of Fy. So, this is for stiffened element. Okay? Kapag hindi na-meet yung compact, we need to check it for the partially compact. Kapag na-meet na niya tong partially compact, yung FB daw na gagamitin natin, mahaba-haba. So, you have here Fy, multiplied it by 0.79 minus 0.000762 BF all over 2TF, and then multiplied it by square root of Fy. Okay? So, ito naman yung gagamitin nating formula. Now, if any of the above conditions, ang tawag na natin doon is non-compact. Okay? So, ang gagamitin natin kapag non-compact, yung FB natin is 0.6 of Fy. Okay? So, ito na yung gagamitin natin, ha? Okay? So, that is for only for the case 1. Okay? So, sige, I will send, nandun na naman to, yung ating criteria sa sinend ko. Pinakita ko lang. So, meron tayong dalawa. Yung case 1, we have the laterally supported beams. And then the second one is the laterally unsupported. Okay? So, yung case 1 natin, we need to check kung compact lang ba siya, partially compact, and then non-compact, makukuha na natin yung allowable stresses. Okay, remember, pagdating sa 2001, allowable lang, ASD lang yung gamit natin, ano? Pero kapag 2015, we have the LRFD. Okay, so anyway, in the board exam, ito pa yung mga lumalabas. NSCP 2001. So, I will teach you this one. Okay? So, that is for the case 1. So, punta tayo dun sa ating case 2. So, we have to call the laterally unsupported beams. Okay? So, lalagyan natin ng un. Okay, laterally unsupported beams. Okay? So, for the laterally unsupported beams, may tinatawag tayong DRT. Okay? So, yung RT na yon, okay, nasa na siya? Eto, L all over DRT. Okay? Wherein the L is, of course, yung ating LB, ano? Okay? So, asan ba siya? Example, this is a simply supported beams. Okay, so example, we have here a simply supported beam. Okay. Okay. Ngayon, pag nag-deflect yan, okay, tingnan natin ano, yung deflection niya, it will look like this one. Okay? Yan. It will look like this one. Yung baba would be in tension and then yung taas would be in compression. Okay? Ngayon, yung cross-section natin, example, you have here the cross-section area. Yung kalahati dyan, okay, assumption, yung kalahati dyan is considered natin na in compression. Okay? So, ito daw is in compression. Okay? Kailangan natin kunin, okay, yung 1/6 niyan. Okay, yung buong web, and then 1/6 of the compression web. And then, kukunin natin yung kanyang, tawag dito, slenderness ratio about the weaker axis. Iyon yung RT, no? So, RT, that is the slenderness ratio. Slenderness ratio of compression flange and 1/6 of compression web. Okay, so pag-aaralan natin yan. Okay, so syempre pag nakakuha ka ng RT, okay, i-check natin yung L all over RT nya, no? Wherein the L, of course, is the unsupported length of the compression flange. Okay, so we need to check that one on this. Kapag daw, okay, criteria 1, when, okay, yung L over RT natin mas mababa, ay mas mataas dito, 703, okay, 270 CB. Okay, so mamaya ako i-discuss yung CB all over the FY. Okay, mas mababa siya, so L all over the RT. And then, ang gagamitin natin are in between. So, we will be having here 3,516,330 CB all over the FY. Okay. Kapag iyan daw, ang gagamitin nating FB is equals to FY multiplied it by 2/3. Okay, minus Fy multiplied by L all over RT squared. Okay, ang kinukuha ko na is nasa NSCP, no? 10,550 times 10 to the 3 CB. Okay? Again, hindi siya dapat lalagpas sa 0.6 of Fy. Okay, it should not exceed 0.6 of Fy. First criteria. Okay? Or, we have FB1. Tawagin ko yung FB1, ano? FB2. Okay, so we will be having here 82,740 CB all over LD all over the area of the flange. Okay, again, this should not exceed 0.6 of Fy. Okay, so you have there the two. So pwede mo daw gamitin, okay, kasi ito kahit anong value to ng FB, ng L over RD. Okay, so you may use larger value, but of course it should not exceed 0.6 of Fy. Okay, but should be less than 0.6 of Fy. Okay, so yun lang naman yung condition niya, no? Now, kapag lumagpas ka, okay, kapag when L all over RT, so ito, I will try to delete this one. Okay, when L all over RT exceeds yung ating upper limit, again, this is the minimum, no? Minimum slenderness ratio, and this is the maximum slenderness ratio. So, kapag nag-exceed siya sa maximum na slenderness ratio, CB all over the Fy, and then gagamitin na natin yung FB na to. So, we will use this FB1 equals to 1,172,100 CB all over L all over RT squared. And again, it should be less than or equal to 0.6 of FY, and then yung FB2 ganun pa rin. Yung FB2 lagi siyang nandun, lagi siyang present, ano? 82,740 CB all over LD all over AF or area ng flange. 0.6 of FY. Okay? So you may use larger value, but less than 0.6 of FY. Okay? In any value, for example, when L over RT is mas mababa naman sa minimum, eto naman lang ang gagamitin mo. Okay? Yung FB2 lang, ha? So, that is the second criteria for this one. Okay? So that is for the introduction of our steel beam. So later on we will be having our example problem for NSCP 2001.